Well, today it's my pleasure on behalf of the board to commend Ann Bakar, who we all know very well, who was awarded from the Bay Area Council in November 9th, the Business Hall of Fame Award, which is a very unique award and not given to many people. Most of us know Ann really well. Those of us who've been on the board for a while have known her for more than 20 years. And, so just briefly, obviously, we know that Ann has just been a strong advocate for mental health clients in this area. She served as CEO of Telecare for more than 3 decades, starting at an extremely young age and taking over the business from her father. Telecare has partnered with Alameda County since the late 70s to provide a wide array of inpatient and outpatient services. Ann Bakar led the organization's successful expansion through turbulent healthcare cycles over the years, many ups and downs, many difficult times, growing from the Northern California inpatient program in 1987 to more than 100 programs in 8 states, so that's quite an accomplishment. The hallmark of Ms. Bakar's leadership includes the creation of an innovative, recovery-oriented clinical system, the establishment of an independent physician service organization, and the establishment of an employee stock ownership plan. Now, the Board of Supervisors, County of Alameda, does hereby congratulate Ann Bakar on receiving the Bay Area Council Business Hall of Fame Award and wishes her continued success with Telecare. We'll take a picture with all the board members, but I don't know if other board members wanted to say anything. We've all known Ann for years, very, very, very proud to have worked with her. And any of you who have visited her facilities, which I've done quite a number of times, have just been really impressed with the programs that go on there and meeting many of the clients who are served by her and her wonderful staff. So I don't know if anyone else, any other comments? Yeah.
Yeah, I would just co-sign everything President Chan has said. I didn't know of Telecare nor Ann Bakar when I was on the Oakland City Council, but I became familiar with Telecare and Ann through Don Parada, who was the supervisor at the time over here, and becoming familiar with Telecare and the staff and services that they provide to the mentally ill and other client populations. Really come to admire both her and her family-owned business. And I along with Supervisor Haggerty, we were at the event in San Francisco. Heard a lot of great things about Ann and the story of Telecare. A few things of which I was very surprised to have presented, because it was part of that story was just remarkable. So I'm happy to know that Ann's not retiring. That was, that was just a mistake.
Well, she did so much work. People thought she was retiring, right?
And I know Telecare is nationally known at this point, so we're just really pleased that they're here in Alameda County and hopefully continue to provide quality service well into the future, both her family and their staff and employees.
Okay. Yes, Supervisor Haggerty.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, it is true that Supervisor Miley and I were at the jam-packed event. It was a very inspiring event. It was also interesting learning how Telecare got their name, but and maybe Ann will tell us the story. But I think what's most amazing is how Telecare got started and the work that her father did. And I sit and I think, I guess, if you want to leave a legacy, her father Mort sure did. And I guess that's every father's dream. I guess my legacy, my kid can run for office, I don't know, or a kid, but Ann really took Telecare and she turned it into something very special. And I think that, I know that her father is certainly looking down and is extremely proud of what, not so much the business that Ann has built, but more importantly, the much needed services that she provides on a daily basis to people that are in need. And that's was the mission of Telecare. That's why her father started the business along with his partner. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to help people. And that's been Ann's focus since she took over the business with the passing of her father. So it's an incredible story. It should be a book. It should be a movie. But you've done a great job, Ann. And I am also very happy you're not retiring.
You want to say something? Supervisor Ryan.
Privilege of having two good friends who were under your care at Telecare, and both came back very positive. So I appreciate that, and I've only been there a couple of times, and I look forward to visiting again. And you have a very dear friend of mine who's under your employ, and anxious to hear how she's doing. Congratulations.
Okay, you could come forward, Ann.
Okay, if you don't get the picture, you're fine.
Thank you, Scott, so much. It means so much to me. So I'll say just a couple words. First, I just want to say how heartwarming it is to hear your words. It means the world to me. On behalf of everybody here, my team that stands behind me, and the county, and Susan, and others of you, it really means the world to me. There's a lot of ups and downs. We go through hard times, and to hear this support is just very heartwarming and inspiring. You know, I've been thinking a lot since I got the Hall of Fame award about what motivated me as a young woman at age 29 to pick up my father's mantle and carry it forward. I had no experience. It was very sudden. And I think there was a lot of levels. I tell my son and other young people, figuring out what your passion is isn't necessarily that easy, right? But for me, it was that connection with my dad, who had confidence in me and still informs, I say, how we build trusting and empowering relationships at Telecare today. It was growing up with mental health at the dinner table and seeing the positive effect of treatment on my family and extended family, which still grounds my optimism that treatment works. And in this era where we're hearing about Me Too and all of this, it was being a young woman, really, in spite of the difficulties in being a young woman in business, and really wanting to show that I could do this, that I could do it and have a social impact that was also consistent with my Jewish values growing up, of wanting to repair the world. But with all of those that were really deeply personal, it never would have been possible if I had not had the support of this board and the collaboration from this county. And I know now, because we're in 40 counties and we're in 8 states, and not all of them support mental health the way this board does, and this board has through generations of leaders. And it goes back to the early days of believing we could move people out of state hospitals and create programs like the Morton Baker Center, and Villa Fairmont, and Garfield that move people to the community. It goes to Strides, which we have the data on that shows that we've reduced homelessness, incarceration, and hospitalizations dramatically. So better services that are more cost-effective services. And so I just want to thank you really genuinely for your belief and support in making these types of programs happen. And as far as we've come, I'm not only not retiring, I'm upping my game because I'm now working with Patrick Kennedy and Darrell Steinberg and with advocates like yourself because the crisis in many ways is getting worse. Homelessness, the incarceration rates, the vulnerability of the elderly, the teenage suicide. I mean, we all could go on and on. So I'm not resting on my laurels, and I would invite you at this moment to join with me. I know you will. I know you do. And let's raise the bar together because there is so much work to be done. And I just thank you because I could never have done it without your support and vision and willingness to take risks with me. And I also, again, want to support my team because they're the ones on the front lines who make it happen, who never give up hope, who believe we hold the hope for people who have lost hope and help them move on in their lives in just so incredible ways. So thank you to my team. Thank you to my husband, Yossi Zadok, who has to live with me on those nights when I'm up all night. And my son, Morty Zadok, who I also, it just inspires me with the kind of person that he is and where he's going. So thank you so, so much. I hope that's not too much. Thank you all very, very much.